Each year, Microsoft Research hosts hundreds of influential speakers from around the world, including leading scientists, renowned experts in technology, book authors, and leading academics, and makes videos of these lectures freely available.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to welcome you all to MSR for the first, what we hope to be annual Northwest NLP workshop. We have a very full crowd today. A number of people are still arriving, and from all over the Pacific Northwest, which is really cool. Before I turn it over to Christian, I just want to let you know a couple of things. The really important stuff. Number one, there's food and fruit and stuff, if you don't know about it, behind me. So in the room, there's a little area behind me here. Also, there's at the very end of the hall, there's a fridge with all sorts of drinks, many of them with tons of sugar that are sure to rot your teeth. And then there's bathrooms also down at that end, too. I thought, these are the important things to get out of the way first. So I'd like to turn it over to Christian, who can do the official welcoming and overview of the workshop.
So welcome, everyone. Thank you all for coming, and thank you very much for Microsoft for hosting. This is just fantastic to be here today. So today at this Northwest NLP workshop, we have 8 speakers spread throughout 3 sessions, and also some 15 posters during a poster session in the afternoon. And reviewing papers, looking at the papers, this is some really great work by students from a variety of places. The first thing we're going to do today is Fred Popowich is going to lead us in an introduction where we all get to learn who each other is, because that's really my main point in organizing this workshop, was I could learn who lives and works in natural language processing and speech in the Northwest. So welcome, and I hope this is a fun day.
Thanks very much, everyone, for coming. As mentioned, I'm Fred Popowich. I'm from Simon Fraser University, which is just slightly north of the 49th parallel. So and I see a lot of other people made it across the 49th parallel today. So we're really glad to be here, and we don't know of anybody that's still detained at the border, so that's a good sign. So like I said, we want to get the big idea for today is to get a chance to know what in the world is going on in natural language processing research here in the Pacific Northwest. And what we're going to do, the one thing that, again, dynamic planning and that, I didn't realize we'd be having mics and be able to record and hear what people are saying. So we're going to actually introduce each group based on the different locations they're at. But we will have one spokesperson for that group, who gets like maybe a whole minute, and we'll go for 90 seconds, and maybe just Bill Dolan will give him 60, but everybody else will get 90 seconds. And then we're going to actually have all those people from that group be able to talk about themselves for a whole 30 seconds, maybe 45 if they're good. And just so that you can start planning, here are the questions you have to prepare to answer about yourself. What's your name? What's your research interests, things like that. Whether you're a master's student, PhD student, other like faculty member, those, they don't really count for much. Let everybody know if you're presenting and what you're presenting, if you're going to be giving a talk. And finally, so that you have something to talk about during the coffee break, what was your first programming language? So that will give you something to talk about. That way you'll see, oh, somebody else in the room actually did that? Okay. So what we're going to do is, I have another mic here that I'm going to be passing around, and I'm going to be going from group to group. We're going to first start talking about a place called the University of Washington. Yeah, I've heard of that place. And we have a few different groups from the University of Washington. We have linguistics, we have bioinformatics, we have some electrical engineering people from SSLI, and we actually have a computer science representative. So I'm going to get Emily first to take this mic and talk about 1 minute It's 90 seconds, sorry, just Bill that has the 1 minute. And then pass it around to allow your group to talk about themselves.
Okay, so I'm here representing linguistics from the University of Washington. I'm Emily Bender. I'm the faculty director of our professional master's program in computational linguistics. That's one big thing going on in our department. We have PhD students in linguistics. We have 3 faculty members in computational linguistics. The people who are here will introduce themselves. Should I answer those questions for myself now then?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so my research area is grammar engineering. I'm also interested in the intersection of typology and computational linguistics. I, as of September 16th, will be an associate professor at UW.
Yay.
And my very first programming language was Logo. So I'm just going to grab some UW linguistics folks here.
I had forgotten about Logo. That was mine also. The first language I remembered was Perl, but I've regressed back to Lisp. I was a UW grad student, master's student. Dwayne Blanchard. I work at Boeing now. We do text and data mining in Lisp. Thanks.
I'm David Goss-Grubbs. I'm a PhD student, the linguistics department. I'm interested in natural language interfaces to databases, and I've got a poster over there about that. And my first programming language was TI Basic.
I'm Scott Drelshak. I'm actually a graduate of the University of Washington from the linguistics department. I worked on the Emily's grammar matrix thing, currently looking for a job. My first programming language was Palo Alto Tiny Basic.
All right, I'm Greg Hollander. I used to work at Microsoft, but now I'm at UW finishing the master's degree in linguistics. And my first programming language would have been Hewlett-Packard Basic in 1973.
Megan Schneider, current master's student at UW, computational neurolinguistics, and let's see, what was the other one? Programming language, either assembly or basic, I don't really remember.
Okay, any more linguistics from University of Washington?
I'm Scott Manti, a graduate student at University of Washington and also employee at Microsoft. My research interests, a little too early to tell yet, but I'm leaning towards information extraction. I have an interest in machine learning as well. My first programming language was BASIC on the TRS-80s.
I'm Witek. I'm currently a master's student with UW. My first language was BASIC.
I'm Esad Shushkic. I work at Microsoft. I'm also a student at the master's program for the computational linguistics. The quest is basically just to survive the statistics this quarter. I'm beginning to be interested in machine translation, particularly for the Bosnian, Croatian, Serbian group of languages. The language probably was BASIC, but it was long ago, so don't remember.
More linguistics students here at University of Washington.
I'm Shubu. I also work at Microsoft. I'm part-time master's students, and I don't have any research interests yet. My first programming language was probably BASIC in DOS. Yeah.
Okay. Any more linguistics students at the back there? Okay. Here. And planning ahead, we're going to then move over to bioinformatics. So.
I'm Joshua Howe. I'm a master's student at the University of Washington in computational linguistics. And my research interests are automatic phonology induction and language documentation. And my first programming language was also Logo.
Okay, I think that is at the end of the linguistics people. So Maliha is, there you are, thank you.
Hi, my name is Miliha Yetişken Yıldız, and I'm a very junior faculty. I started at UW 5 months ago in the Department of Biomedical Health Informatics. And my main research area is statistical natural language processing, and my specific projects include extraction of phenotype information from clinical records, and I'm hoping to form an NLP team under the medical school with the hope to extract good knowledge from clinical records.
Great stuff. So you have some students here? Or other?
Unfortunately, I'm the only one.
Oh, 5 months? Oh, okay. Well, okay, we'll pass it on to Brian from SSLI. Long trip, so okay, we'll come back to that later. And Alan is a representative of computer science, I've heard. There, okay. Pass the baton.
Hi, so yeah, my name is Alan Ritter. I'm in the computer science department at UW. So there's a lot of people there working in natural language processing type stuff. I guess this DARPA machine reading program is pretty big, so I think a lot of people are interested in that. I've been doing some work with Twitter and then also on selectional preferences lately. And I think my first programming language was actually C++, which was probably not a good language to start on.
Okay, anybody else from computer science here? No? Okay, so anybody we've missed from University of Washington? So.
Hi, my name's Stella Pogornik. I'm in the master's program for linguistics. Right now I'm studying bio-NLP, and actually Sophia and I are taking a class with Malia, but we're part of the linguistics department.
My name is Safia Salim, and I'm also a master's student in the computational linguistics program at UW, and my interests are grammar engineering and biomedical NLP. And my first programming language was probably C++ too.
Okay. Any more? Okay. Yeah. Well, I was going to go into P&L. We'll do that one later. So we want, is that University of Washington? Everybody that wanted to speak? Great. Okay, we're going to cross the border now and go to the University of British Columbia. So Giuseppe Caronini, I'm going to let you speak for a moment here.
Hi, so my name is Giuseppe Caronini, and I'm a faculty member in computer science at UBC, where we have a pretty large group working on summarization, 7 people, and we work on summarizing, in particular, evaluative text, so text with containing opinions, and also conversational data, so starting from meetings, like face-to-face meetings, to emails or blogs. And we are following both approaches like extractive summarization and abstractive summarization. We particularly focus on abstractive summarization now, where you extract the information and then you generate new language. And my broader research interests are combining natural language and information visualization to improve human-computer communication. And I guess my first programming language was Pascal.
Great. So
now I'm going to
find your team now and pass it around to them.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Murray. I'm also at UBC. So my main research area is abstractive summarization of conversations like meetings and emails. My first programming language was probably Perl and shell programming like Bash, I guess. So I'm not presenting anything, but I'm worked on some of the work that's being presented in the posters and the talks today.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Fitzgerald. I'm an undergraduate from UBC in the Cognitive Systems program, so I'm interested in all aspects of intelligence, but computational linguistics is a natural fit. So I've been working on an abstractive summarization system that I'll be presenting this afternoon called Assess. And my first programming was actually with Microsoft Excel. I'd make these programs, but then I learned C++. So.
Hi, I'm Shafiq, and I'm a PhD student here at UBC, and I'm interested in finding topics in emails and machine learning and NLP, and my first programming language is C.
Hi, my name is Wana Sandhu. I'm a master's student at UBC. I'm presenting a poster on domain adaptation of extractive summarization. My first programming language was in the 90s, and I think it was Visual Basic and then HTML. So it's not real languages, but
Hi, my name is Hamad Ali. I'm a master's student at UBC. I'm presenting a poster on developing a discourse parser for evaluative text. So that's what I work on, discourse parsing of evaluative text. And my first programming language, I think, was C.
Great. Any more UBC people here? Okay, so thanks very much for the contingent from that's the west side of Greater Vancouver. You'll be hearing more things from the east side of Greater Vancouver shortly. But I think it's time to cross the border again, and I think we might have a few people. There's an organization called Microsoft Research, you know. So, Bill, what in the world does Microsoft Research do?
Actually, first I'd kind of like to hear about this schism between East and West Vancouver. I mean, is this going to get ugly later on in the day? So I'm Bill Dolan. I'm the manager of the Natural Language Processing Group here in Microsoft Research. And again, just to reiterate what Will said, welcome everybody. This is our building. There are about 300 or so researchers here in the Redmond branch of MSR. And of course, there are lots of other branches around the world. The NLP group is about 30 people. And we are a little bit odd in that the group encompasses both a traditional research group with about 10 people and a product group working on machine translation. So translate.bing.com is right from our group, and of course there's a lot of interaction between the researchers and the product people working on that. The research group works on a whole host of problems that are familiar, I'm sure, to all of you, things like information retrieval, summarization, input method editor for Asian languages, what am I forgetting, ESL grammar checking. My own personal interest is in the area of semantics and paraphrase. One of the things that we do, especially since we have this machine translation effort sitting right here in the group, is that we try to use that hammer repeatedly. So we're using it for things like building spellers, building grammar checkers, building paraphrase tools. And again, it's just great to have this close interaction between the research team and the product group. What else can I say? I think you said I could have 92 seconds or something, and I've probably used it all up.
Well, you can pass it on to the rest of your different Microsoft people here so we can hear what they're doing.
Okay, my name is Michael Gammon. I work in sentiment detection, error detection, specifically for learners of English, and a bunch of other things, email categorization, things like that. My first programming language was probably Turbo Prolog, and I would not recommend it to anybody.
Hijack this. Before I pass it on, I just wanted to make a plea for any potential interns next year. Please apply if you're looking for an internship. We're always looking. And I forgot to mention that my first programming language, I think, was Prolog, which tells you way too much about me.
Yes. So I'm Chris Quirk. I'm also a researcher at Microsoft Research here, and I work mostly on machine translation, although I've got the chance to toy with some other things like paraphrase and more recently a little bit of work in bio-NLP. And first programming language, it must have been BASIC on an Apple II or a VIC-20 or something. Bob?
I'm Bob Moore. I'm a principal researcher in the NLP group here at Microsoft Research. I've worked on a lot of different aspects of NLP over the years, but for the last few years I've focused mainly on statistical machine translation. And my first programming language was Fortran with format for the IBM 1620 using punch cards. And that's the way we liked it.
I think we have
There's more Microsoft people here, yes.
Hi, my name is Eduardo Alvarez, and I'm part of the product group in machine translation, and I help with the machine translation evaluation. And my first programming language was BASIC on Apple II.
Hi, my name is Hisami Suzuki. I am also a researcher at the NLP group here at Microsoft Research. So I'm interested in, so because we're in this research team where we do research and then there's a product team very nearby, and also in the company there are a lot of product needs that's bridging between computational linguistics and NLP applications. So I worked recently on analyzing queries and trying to take advantage of search query log data for natural language processing, especially for Japanese. And I'm generally interested in anything about processing Japanese, and I have worked on input method for Japanese as well. First programming language, that's called G, and you probably don't know it, so talk to me later if you are interested in what that is. It's C plus half plus.
More Microsoft.
Hi, so my name is Lucy Vanderwendy, and I'm a researcher in the NLP group here. My primary interests have been broadly semantics, so I've looked at semantic networks that we extract automatically from text with fairly deep linguistic knowledge. So we had built something called MindNet, which was at the level of a logical form, so you abstract over different syntactic realizations. And that work is definitely coming back, and it's becoming quite of an interest to the whole community. Now, the purpose of that would be for information extraction, and right now I'm focusing on bio-NLP. I've also worked on summarization. I'll be showing a poster together with another Microsoft employee, Abhishek Singh. He's interested in the evaluation of summarization without the use of reference summarization. So we'll show that poster later on. Oh, first programming language. Has anybody ever heard of PL1?
Hi, I'm Pallavi Chaudhary, and I'm the new developer with the NLP team, so actually almost a master's student in NLP, I guess. And I've been working a little bit on bio-NLP, and yeah, that's about it. And my first programming language is Pascal.
Great. Will?
Hi, I'm Will Lewis. I'm in the MT product team, which is an incubation team inside of Microsoft Research, the NLP team. And I was formerly faculty, actually, with Emily and Faye at UW, so I know a number of you from there. My first programming language actually was BASIC. I took a class at the Lawrence Hall of Science at Berkeley, and it was the very first programming language. It was on teletypes. And actually, I taught Logo at a summer camp for several years in the Sierra Nevada, just so you know.
Great.
Hi, my name is Li Deng. I'm a principal researcher at Microsoft Research in the Speech Group. I have been working on speech recognition and speech-to-speech translation.
Great.
First language programming, Fortran.
Fortran, good stuff. Okay, any more Microsoft people here? No? Okay. Well, we can always go upstairs, I guess. Okay, so what I'd like to move on to next is the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, and there was a vote, and Liam wasn't in the room, so everybody said that Liam would be the spokesperson for...
Hi. So Michelle Gregory was originally going to introduce us, but she was not able to make it, but she wanted me to tell you that she regrets not being able to be here. So we're a Department of Energy research lab, so we do applied research and development for the Department of Energy and other government agencies and private industry. Here with an interest in NLP are people from two groups, or at least two groups, I guess. The Knowledge Systems group located in Richland, Washington, and also the Human-Centered Analytics group here in Seattle. And so I'm Liam McGrath. I'm a research scientist at PNNL, and also I'm a student in Emily's program at the UW. My interests are in information extraction and knowledge bases and ontologies, and my first language was C++.
Hi, I'm Kelly O'Hara. I am a graduate of Emily's program at the UW, and now I am working at PNNL doing mostly things related to information retrieval, information extraction. And my first programming language was BASIC on an Apple IIe.
Hi, I'm Eric Bell. I work at PNNL. I'm also a master's student at UW. I work a lot statistical processing, particularly classification algorithms, and also a lot of data harvesting. And my original language was VisualBasic.net, actually. I'm young.
I'm Stuart Rose. I'm a research engineer in the Information Analytics Group at PNL. I'm presenting a paper on rapid automatic keyword extraction today. And Kelly and Eric are also presenting posters. I mostly do research in text analysis systems and also visual analytics systems for our clients. And my first programming language is probably BASIC on Apple II+, so I'm a little bit older.
I'm Cord Corley, and I'm a scientist at PNNL too in knowledge systems,
I'm just finishing up a postdoc there and starting on as a scientist. So my interests are health informatics and social media analytics, and applying that to sentiment analysis of individual intervention beliefs, so vaccination, et cetera, and then also biosurveillance. So, and my first programming language was TI-99 basic, and it was a bowling game. So, anybody else?
More people from your team?
Nope, I think that's it.
No, okay. Well, next on the list, we're going to go north of the border again, so to Simon Fraser University, and we were hoping that Anup Sarkar, my partner in crime in computing science at SFU, would be able to join us today, but we managed to schedule this when he's in Britain, so that's why he's unable to join us today, and he's due to fly out of Britain this weekend. I think they may actually get out of there, so that's volcanoes permitting. So the Natural Language Lab at Simon Fraser University has been around since the since the 1980s, been doing all sorts of things, whether it be in the early days doing natural language interfaces to databases, and then moving on to things like machine translation, information extraction, information retrieval, and just a broad range of different natural language processing activities. Before I turn it over to the people in the lab, our students in that, I guess my own interests, most recently I've been really focused a lot on machine translation and information extraction, and particularly since I was out of the university on leave for a while, doing work in the private sector in that area. I guess the text analytics was the nice name that they could call it. You know, that way they have trade shows on it. They can call it text analytics trade shows. And what I'm really happy about is I'm in my last week before I leave my position as Associate Dean of Applied Science at Simon Fraser University, so looking forward to that. And but it seems that it's going to align with the creation of a new Visual Analytics Institute at SFU, which I've heard rumors that I'm the interim director of it, and I've heard rumors that there's a major American aerospace corporation going to announce something relating to it next week, you know. So you'll probably keep seeing me on this side of the border here too. And my first programming language, which was one that nobody has used before, mentioned here, APL, if anybody has ever heard of that one. Pretty frightening, yes. So I will pass it on to the Simon Fraser University team here.
Hello everyone, my name is Maxim. I'm a PhD student at SFU. My research interests are statistical machine translation in low-dense languages, and my first programming language is Pascal.
Milan Toflowski, a PhD student at SFU. Interests are discourse analysis. I've done some work in sentiment analysis and also text visualization as well. Last one.
My name is Bhaskaran Sankaran. I'm a PhD student again from SFU. I work on machine translation, and I'm also starting into synchronous grammar induction. And I think I started with C as my first language. And today I'll be talking about some incremental decoder. That's it. Thanks.
I forgot, I started on C, and I have a poster as well to present later. Sorry about that.
Hi, I'm Ann Clifton. I'm a master's student at Simon Fraser, and my research interest is primarily machine translation, and I'll be giving a talk today on some work that we've been doing so far. Oh, and my first language was C++.
Hi, my name is Majid Razmara. I'm a PhD student at SFU working with Ferret. And my research interest is tree-based statistical machine translation. And my first programming language was BASIC.
Hi, my name is Askar Saipul. I'm the master student of Simon Fraser University of Red student. I like to do my master thesis on some morphological complex languages like Turkish. So my first language was BASIC.
Hi, I'm Youngchan Kim. I'm a master's student at SFU, and I am planning on working on machine translation in the future. I just started like last semester, so. And my first language was Java. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Yudong Liu. I recently received my PhD in NLP. I'm on the job market right now, and I have been working on using lexicalized tree adjoining grammar on semantic row labeling. This afternoon, I'm gonna present you a very exciting result on that front. And my first programming language, I think it was Pascal. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Yudong.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do here is just briefly diverge. We have an SFU alumnus here, so we're going to pass it on to Pat to talk about what his research interests are and where he currently is.
Hello, my name is Pat Pattabhiraman. I work for a small company called Converse within bicycling distance of here, and we specialize in voice recognition for embedded devices, mostly cell phones, almost exclusively cell phones these days. And my background is in computational linguistics. I'm now the head of the core technology group at Converse, but I'm concerned with all things at the intersection and union of voice recognition and natural language processing technology. In voice recognition, primarily things like spelling to pronunciation, guessing, phone sets, phonology, and so forth, and also in technologies where natural language processing complements voice recognition and enhances the value of it in voice recognition products and stuff. And prior to working for Converse, I worked in Vancouver, BC for what is now SAP. It used to be called Seagate Software in those days. And I got a group going. We tried to do a natural language interface for databases that were queried through Crystal reports, which is probably a fairly commonly known product. And prior to that, I did my PhD at SFU in computer science / natural language generation, and Fred Popovich was among my thesis supervisors. The first program that I wrote had one statement that did something along the lines of printf hello world new line. So
Thanks, Pat. Okay, we're going to be moving on to Oregon Health and Science University, and Brian's going to be the spokesperson.
I'm the loudmouth of the group, so that's... So they say. So we're coming from Center for Spoken Language Understanding at Oregon Health and Science University. To place that in reference, we're the part of the institute formerly known as OGI. So if you remember OGI from back in the day, we're the descendant organization that has been sucked into OHSU, which has a long history of doing that to smaller institutions. But anyway, so because we're now part of a larger health and science organization, we, in addition to the sort of basic level NLP and speech research, we also look at applications in the health domain, so things like augmentative communication, so projects involving speech transformation for dysarthric speech, brain-computer interface. We have language modeling and other processing for these sorts of applications, as well as automated assessment for neurodevelopmental or neurodegenerative disorders. These are the sorts of applications that we're trying to push speech and NLP into. We have 10 faculty working in areas of speech, NLP, and computational biology, and on the order of 20 graduate students. And we have 4 of the faculty here, and we have students that are advised by 5 of the faculty. So we have a pretty good representation of the group as a whole, and everybody can talk about their own thing there. I tend to focus on natural language processing, language modeling, structured processing, parsing, and other fun stuff like that. First programming language was Java. No. It was BASIC on an Apple IIe, probably. So.
Okay, why don't you pass it around to your team?
Oh, Christian, sorry.
Since I'm in the front, I can go. So my name is Christian Monson. I am a postdoc at OHSU, primarily working with Brian Rourke and also a little bit with Zach Shafran, who's over there. So about a year ago, a little bit, I graduated from Carnegie Mellon University with PhD. My thesis was on unsupervised morphology induction, and I followed up a little bit on morphology learning while at OHSU. The ultimate goal over the next 8 months or so that I have left as a postdoc, is to apply these morphemes that we're discovering. They're smaller pieces of words, and so we're trying to fold these small pieces into a speech recognition system, ultimately for the purpose of spoken term detection. And I did BASIC on an Apple IIe when I was in like 6th grade. We programmed the Olympic rings to appear on the screen. And it played the Olympic theme. It was awesome.
Okay, we'll pass the mic around.
So I'm Richard Sproat, and I'm actually just recently joined the Center for Spoken Language Understanding at OHSU last year. Before that I was at the University of Illinois, and before that I was at AT&T Labs for about 20 years. I'm also a visiting scientist at Google. So so I'd mention that. I've worked on a bunch of stuff over the years. I work on text normalization, multilingual text processing. I did one of the first unsupervised approaches to Chinese word segmentation. I worked on text-to-speech, even dabbled in little things like machine translation years ago. At OHSU, I'm working on, among other things, automated assessment of neurodevelopmental disorders, basically using parsing and other technology to try to figure out, where children are in their language development. First, programming language, I guess BASIC on a teletype to the San Diego City School mainframe computer, but the first serious programming language that I used was Zeta Lisp on the Symbolics Lisp machines.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lunsford. I think what's my interest. Right now I am working on finishing the PhD and doing that by creating dialogue policies that adapt to the needs and the abilities of diverse users, specifically focusing on hearing issues or challenging environments. My first programming language was Pascal. I think the rest of us are over there.
And you have a poster.
Oh, and if you want to hear more about it, I have a poster.
My name is Seeger Fisher, and I'm a PhD student at OHSU. My interests are discourse parsing of text and summarization. My first language was BASIC, also at the Lawrence Hall of Science on the teletype.
My name is Yongshen Chen. I come from OHSU. I'm a PhD student, and broadly I'm interested in text processing, but I'm just starting. Okay. First programming language, C.
Hi, I'm Ethan Selfridge. I'm a PhD student at OHSU. My interests are in spoken dialogue systems, specifically turn-taking, and my first programming language, I think, was Visual Basic. Oh, and I also have a presentation this afternoon at 4:30.
I'm Maider Ler. I'm PhD student at OHSU. I work on statistical speech recognition and discriminative modeling. I am presenting today a talk. My first language programming was C.
I'm Emily Tucker Prudhomme. I'm a PhD student at OHSU. My research interests are using speech technology and natural language processing for diagnosing neurodevelopmental disorders in children like autism. I have a poster over there. It's not really about that, but it's based on data we collected to look at that. And my first programming language was BASIC on a VAX terminal that my mom brought home from school.
Hello, my name is Nate Bodenstaub. I'm a PhD student with Brian Rourke. I work mainly on syntactic parsing. I'm going to have a talk about some work we've done. It's actually the very last talk of the day, so it's the worst time probably.
Everything leads up to it. It's
yeah. What else? First programming language, I guess it was QBasic. I think that stands for Quick Basic, but I'm not sure what was so quick about it. I also have some connections with Nuance, and I know they're hiring, so anyone that's interested could talk to me too.
I'm Aaron Delmap. I'm also a PhD student at OHSU. I'm primarily interested in efficient and scalable context-free parsing
and I have a poster if you want this afternoon. And I think about the same time I ran into Logo and Apple IIe Basic. I don't remember which was first.
Hi, I'm Peter Heeman. I am a research associate professor. My two students are Rebecca and Ethan, and Rebecca has the poster, Ethan has a talk. And then my research interest is in the interactional aspects of dialogue, such as filled pauses, disfluencies, discourse markers. I also do work on like dialogue management, mainly with reinforcement learning. I also do work on detecting stuttering as well. And my first programming language was ACL, which it was just this toy programming language that we send in punch cards and then got back the output a week later, hopefully if we didn't have any programming mistakes.
Hi, I'm Zach Shafran. My first programming language was TI's assembly language for digital signal processing. So that should tell you something about my background. So I'm a faculty at OHSU. I work on speech processing and recognition mainly, but I'm also interested in using prosodic information for parsing, and we've done some work on that, particularly detecting disfluencies and improving parsing. Yeah, apart from that, I also work on problems related to assessment, particularly in older adults, trying to detect neurodevelopmental, neurodegenerative disorders.
More specific, yeah, there we go.
I'm Masayar Mohammadi. I'm a PhD student from OHSU Center for Spoken Language Understanding, working with Brian Rourke. My research interest is topics in NLP like information extraction and language modeling. And my first programming language was BASIC on a Microsoft Windows machine.
I'm a student, PhD student at OHSU, working with Richard on a kind of text-to-picture generation system. It has a kind of core as a scenario-based, knowledge base. So my general interest is computational semantics. And my first programming language was Quick Basic.
My name is Geza Kish. I'm a visiting student researcher, a Fulbright scholar, and I'm working with Jan van Santen, also on this neurodevelopment and disorder detection. My main research topic is speech processing. I'm also very interested in natural language processing. That's why I'm here, but I'm not presenting anything. And my first language was BASIC on a Commodore Plus 4.
Hi, my name is Mesa Maskari. I'm a PhD student and I'm working with Zach, and my research interest is speech processing. I think my first language was Pascal. Thanks.
Any more Oregon people here? You see, we're not biased for borders. We go north across a border or south across a border.
Faculty member from a local university, Pacific University, which is Shireen. Maybe at this time would be appropriate for Shireen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Shireen Koja. I'm an associate professor at Pacific University, which is a small university in Forest Grove, Oregon. I work in the College of Arts and Sciences. There's 3 computer science faculty there. But my background is computational linguistics. I work with Arabic, stemming, part of speech tagging. I'm interested in colloquial Arabic and processing that. My first programming language was Pascal. And I'd like to introduce my husband, who's here with me because I'm due to give birth in a few weeks, so he didn't want me to come alone.
Hello, I'm Adam Herr. I'm a software architect at Intel Corporation. I work in high-performance computing stream processing, working in language and standards. And yes, my principal function is to be the chauffeur. My first language was BASIC on a Commodore VIC-20.
Great. And I know that we probably, no more Oregon people here, because I know that we may have missed some, nope. We may have missed some people. So raise your hand if you have not spoken yet. Okay, so pass a mic to somebody that's...
Hi, I'm Ryan Georgie. I'm
PhD student at UW, and pardon my late arrival, the Coling deadline was 10 hours ago, so I haven't slept much. But I specialize in kind of adapting tools for low density languages and kind of unsupervised techniques and trying to get those to work. And I'll have a poster up at some point.
Hi, my name is Saleh Etemadi. I'm a software engineer with the Machine Translation Incubation Project in Microsoft Research, and I'm also a PhD student at Michigan State University, and my interest is in statistical machine translation.
Okay, great. Raising of hands. Who else has not spoken yet? No, I think that about covers it. So that's been ideal. Oh, just one short question. Milan, did we make the Coling deadline? Yeah, good. Okay. That's why he's a bit more bleary-eyed than I am, yeah. So this is great. So you see that the idea with this is, and wow, I said we'd be 50 minutes, and we're almost 50 minutes for this. So, you know, this, I guess I was just being too strict on some of these things. But the important thing from this is it's giving us a chance to hear what everybody else's research is about. And this way, when we're at the coffee breaks, which are coming up soon, and in the sessions and all that, we can really get an idea for who is doing what, and get an idea from these posters. You know, I know some people that got in late haven't had a chance to put up their posters, so I'm really looking forward to the conversations we're going to be having during the breaks today, to hearing the talks, and to seeing what's up on those posters. Because after reviewing some of those papers, you know, it's nice to be able to see what's happened with them up there. And from my perspective, I just want to say thanks very much, everybody, for coming together this morning so that we can start to know each other and each other's research. Pass it back to you.
Okay, so ending a few minutes early, but that's no problem. We'll just talk amongst ourselves and get to know each other better. We will reconvene at 11:30 for the first oral session.